No, I found it.
You found the hat?
I just got to find a pinging one.
Pinging.
Are we live? We live.
We live.
You know something? There's certain people that are like, hello, chat. How are you? Welcome to Cocktail Hour and things like that. Yeah, woo.
No, we don't do that here.
No, I know we don't. But you know who does do shit like that still? Some of the boomerific streamers that I still watch. They will sit there and go, "Oh, I'm just waiting for it to come up on the back end of YouTube here in studio." So yeah, it's usually about a 15-second delay, and yeah. Okay, and it looks like we're live. And it's like, guys, you were live this whole time. Yes, there's a delay before it shows up at the back end of YouTube. It doesn't mean you're not broadcast. From the moment you press go live, you're live. Fuck.
Shh. It's okay. They're slow.
Don't tell the boomers.
And old. Don't worry about it.
They're slow and old.
Speaking of slow and old, hi, I'm Weebo. This is Polly. Welcome to Cocktail Hour.
Woohoo!
And Polly is on time because actually he was going to be on time even if we had kept schedule with the initial time, but
I was early. I was mad early.
He was
35 minutes early. Oh, look, your coffee cup says coffee. How clever.
I know, right? And guess what's in here?
Tea.
Yeah.
There's
there's dandelion root, not dandelion. I think it's sunflower root tea in here. It's supposed to help me detox from the weekend of drinking that I've just had. We'll find out. I went to the races this weekend, Polly, and not just this weekend. From like Wednesday morning till like 2:00. I was either driving or camping out in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. In my dad's new trailer that he purchased for his retirement. So my dad, he plans to, when he finally, tenders his permanent resignation for the last time. Wow, what is up with that? When he finally tenders his resignation for the very, very last time, my father plans to travel the continental United States in his trailer and just see the sights. And it's a toy hauler, so he's got his motorcycle in the back, so he can take like little day trips out from the toy hauler and just camp in generic woodland areas in the United States. And like, this man has been to all 50 states before, but now he can take his sweet ass time of it and do it at his own pace and leisurely go there with his girlfriend, who will also be working in the toy hauler. Not that she's going to retire at the same time as him, but they have this plan to just kind of dip potato chip across the nation. She wants to sell the house completely and then just go, but he's not quite ready to do that, and I think that's partially because hello, I still exist here. Weebo I would like to see my father more often than just once every 6 months when he comes when he rolls into town, and lets the hitch down for a little bit.
Lets the hitch down
because it's hitched to the back of his truck. So he's going to be completely mobile for a large portion of the year. At least that is his plan. But like, then that means that I don't get to see him as often as I'd like, which, is fine, but I'm also gonna miss him because I love my dad, believe it or not.
I do believe it.
And who else am I gonna call when I need to borrow all of his power tools? Because, boyfriendo, we don't have a large collection of every single power tool under the sun at this juncture in our lives. Like, we live in a tiny ass 2-bedroom apartment, no garage or outdoor garage. We don't have endless storage capacity to put all of these tools, much less, the years and experience that it takes to accumulate all of these things.
Well, I'm regularly thieving my dad's tools. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so, like, I'm not saying that I only want my dad to stick around because he's useful in that I get to borrow shit off him, but I'll also miss him for just having him even be 45 minutes away from me, a quick drive down the highway, and I'm at his house and I can have dinner with him and his girlfriend and just hang out and see my dog, because they're bringing my dog with. They're taking Daphne away from me.
Well, you should have brought her to your...
No dogs allowed in the apartment.
Oh, really?
It was a miracle that we even got the cats in here, remember? There were no cats allowed in the apartment either for a time. And then my dad caved on that because he's like, well, we did have to kill your cat this year. So...
Oh, that's nice.
To make up for it, here, have this restriction lifted. But the dog would be an issue because even though Daphne doesn't really bark a whole lot, if she did bark, the neighbors would know, and they don't, and we don't think that they would take too kindly to not having everyone adhere to the same rules.
Why can't I have a dog?
Yeah, just be like, why can't I have a dog? Well, you see, you didn't shovel snow in the winter time this year, so you don't get a fucking dog. How about them apples? Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna miss Dad, but his toy hauler is really cool. They custom designed the whole interior, so everything is specified to what they need. It's not like a generic camper, but like everything is detachable. The whole thing could be hosed down in about 10 minutes to get it cleaned, and there's a lot of space in there. Space that, like, have you ever been inside a camper?
I have been inside a camper.
Well, they have different configurations and layouts, and not all of them are good or helpful.
This is true.
Or conducive to a fun camping experience. Like, there were 5 of us living in that camper for 5 days, and it did not once get super claustrophobic or feel like we were in each other's way.
Huh.
Which is a tall order when it comes to a camper. And it's not one of those campers that expands outwards. No, it's just standard, like, the walls don't move, but, like, everything else does.
I hear you.
So we were on a lift bed, me and a boyfriendo, that essentially you can just, like, elevate and drop down whenever you need to, however you need to, per what it is that you're going to be doing. My brother was on a cot beneath us, and then the rest of the area was free open space we played Monopoly and cards, and then we put up the table, and then it was just kind of a walking area as well. So
I would never play Monopoly with you.
Oh, no, you don't want to. I have a really bad attitude when I lose.
Yeah, I'll bet. I think you're one of those people that when you get like Park Place and Boardwalk together and it's like, give me the money.
Oh, absolutely. I would decimate people without mercy, but I'm also really, really, really angsty when I start to lose, especially if I feel like I've been cheated or something, or like I made a really bad play. I'll get mad at myself. I'll get mad at everyone else. A boyfriend, though, can attest to this. He doesn't like playing Monopoly with me either. Right, babe?
Eh?
I'm a bad Monopoly player.
Fuck yeah, you are.
Fuck yeah, you are. There you go.
Do you want to tell people about this weekend?
You got absolutely fucking destroyed after being just a brat.
So I tried to collect all the properties, and I had like duplicates of several of them, and I was standing in El Boyfriendo's way of getting a single Monopoly. Neither of us had a Monopoly, but I made a trade deal with my brother that gave him a Monopoly before it would give El Boyfriendo a Monopoly, because I didn't want El Boyfriendo to have the Monopoly that he wanted. And so I made a trade deal out of spite, because I'm like, I don't want to lose it fucking again, because I had just lost to him at cards too. No, I've never flipped a board game while losing, but I was a really sore loser. and
it wasn't that hard of a guess for me. It really wasn't.
So when I'm losing, I'm a big baby, but when I'm winning, I'm a ruthless businesswoman.
Obnoxious bitch. Got it. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So don't play games with me like that. Yep. I'm a very sore loser.
Come on, fucker.
I don't know what it is about that. I just like. To be fair, I will say this. They were kind of finessing with the rules at certain points, making some shady backdoor deals that I was not
privy to.
No, I was sitting right there. I could hear them make the deals, but I'm like, this isn't how you're supposed to fucking play Monopoly. Okay, you don't get a pass on this one specific property for the next 3 times a person lands on it just because that's part of the trade deal. That's not how you make those deals. Brad Young says, sounds like you're a sore winner too. No. Not sore winner. Like, I'll play fair. I won't brag about it. Unless, unless someone has been being a sore winner previously, in which case then it's, all's fair in love and war. But I've won gracefully, and I've lost gracefully too. It's just, there was something about this game that just didn't sit right with me. And it was probably a lot of because when my boyfriend and when my brother get together, I feel kind of ganged up on sometimes.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. They both like to torment me just a little bit. Just a little bit.
All right, there we go. Today's theme is hipster knit cap, so I had to put one together here real quick.
I don't even know where I got this hat from, by the way. I've had it for years and years, but I don't know where it came from. And it is the most vibrant purple and red color, which you don't really see a lot of together, do you?
Not really, no.
Mm-mm.
Boom. Open.
Daniel Fullman, Weebo, the rule lawyer. Oh yeah, no. If people aren't playing by the rules, I'm like, you're not playing by the rules. The rules specifically state, Your Honor, the law specifically states in bylaw section B, class A, subsection Jake W.
Jake W.
I don't know. This is what, in the case of Weebo versus Weebo.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hipster hat otter.
Oh, that's cute. Hi. Mwah. We have a cat. She ripped her collar off before we left, and I never got a chance to put it back on her because she refused to. And I had to find it too, is the thing. She has a tendency to rip off her collars and then just hide them from me. And I found it. I just haven't put it on yet. So she is currently naked.
And arrestable.
Yeah. We did a good girl. Oh, but she and the other one missed us this weekend. So what are those ears?
Yeah, they're little ears. When I looked up knit hipster hat to try and find an image, and I saw this one with the ears, and I'm like, well, the otter has ears, so he needs like ear sockets to put his little ears in.
Naturally.
So there we go.
Naturally. Are you just gonna here? Let me take this down for you so you can just chill. Her butt. Oh my gosh. Get your butt out of the camera, you dum-dum. Most inconvenient child I've ever had. Not that I'm, popping him out left and right, but you got my drift. You're getting some tail this episode. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl. Audience, I hope you're not too offended by this egregious thing that I'm subjecting you to. Hi. Hello. Yeah, she missed me. She's like, Mommy, why'd you leave me? Meowschwitz bullies me. Hi, baby. It's okay. I'm home. Where is the other one? Polly, you should get a cat.
No.
Okay. I tried. Holly, you should get an otter.
I would. I mean, you really gotta otter-proof your house.
How do you do that exactly?
Oh man, have you ever watched the Japanese guy's got a YouTube channel about how he otter-proofed his house? Because like they're
What? No. What?
yeah,
Excuse me?
there's a YouTuber, Japanese guy, who owns 2 otters,
Uh-huh.
right? And it's a fun channel to watch because otters are awesome. But they just he had to otter-proof his house. Like you can't you can't have anything sitting on a shelf because they will get up there and knock it off. Like they will get they're inquisitive and extremely curious acrobats. Like and they're like cats times 10 in terms of their desire to get into stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't want a cat?
No, I want a cat. I just my rental
otters.
my otter the lesser. It's just my rental agreement doesn't allow pets, but I'm thinking about sneaking a cat in because if you're gonna have a sneaky pet, cat's a good choice. Damn good choice.
Oh yeah. I don't make any noise.
I mean, I guess a goldfish is a good choice, but you can't pet a goldfish.
Yeah. You want something that you can kind of like just manhandle with the fingers just a little bit. You know, something that's going to come to you begging for attention. You're just like, okay, I'll give it to you. Because then you feel loved all the time. Like right now. Like, how do you feel sad with this? Like, it's impossible to feel sad when a tiny animal comes to you seeking affection. And you're just like, give. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Miss Jones.
Mr. Dub.
What we're going to do here.
What are we going to do here?
We are going to look at the 100 best romance films according to IMDb.
Oh. And what are we going to do with these 100 best romance films?
We are going to mock their choices.
Okay.
You know what number 1 is?
What's number 1? Wait, no, share it on your... Okay, you did. I see it.
Titanic.
Really? That's what you think is the best
It's not a my list
movie of all time? She yeets him off of a freaking door to save herself, and he drowns at the end of that movie. I've not seen that part of the movie because I refuse to watch the whole goddamn thing because I think it's a stupid romance. It's a stupid plot that capitalizes off of a horrific tragedy. Like, holy fuck, who thought that this movie was a good idea? Okay, the Titanic sank. It sank. It went down. People died. And you thought that it was a good idea to make an entire romantic movie surrounding that as the plot. That's almost like That's like not like it. Imagine if someone had done that, but with the Holocaust. Right? Okay, just think about it like this. Film. Think about this. Think about it like this. Okay, so there is like an SS captain. and he's from the higher society German world, and he meets this little Jewish girl, right? And she's just like lower class or whatever, German world, and they meet. And they fall in love, but this is like right before she gets carted the fuck off to Auschwitz, and he can save her, but he doesn't. That's what this is.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's good romantic films that involve the Holocaust. I mean, Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS, that was a good one.
No, but like my rendering of this in the Holocaust sense. Just it.
Do you know what Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS is, Weebo?
No, is that the plot of those movies? Is what I just described the plot of those movies?
Not even close.
Okay, see?
Okay, so don't worry about what that movie's about. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I've never seen either of them.
It's fine. I mean, just Yeah, there you go. That's what you should do is drag El Boyfriendo, and I can send you, a copy of Ilsa She Wolf of the SS. It'll just be like, Polly recommended this as a highly romantic film set in World War II about like a Nazi female SS officer who gets involved in a number of romantic entanglements, and it's very LGBTQ friendly.
Oh, well, at least it has that saving grace. Old Man Enfield says that movie was mad popular. Chances are some of Weebo's friends are alive because their parents canoodled after going to see Titanic. Why would the sinking of the Titanic put anyone in a mood to fuck? That's my question. It's like getting it on after the boy in the striped pajamas. How dare you?
I'm just saying.
I can't wrap my brain about it. My noodle is noodling pretty hard.
A 17-year-old aristocrat falls in love with a kind, poor artist aboard the luxurious but ill-fated RMS Titanic. Okay. She's 17. He was banging an underage girl. Draw me like one of your French girls, and she was underage.
Wait. How old was Leo in that movie?
Oh.
Do we know? Okay. All right. Hang on. Pause. She's 17. How old was his name? Is Jack?
Sure. I've never seen it.
Titanic.
I like good movies. I've never watched it.
Jack Dawson is...
I'm going to guess 22.
Wait, hang on. He was only 20 years old. According to the Titanic wiki. Jack Dawson was only 20 years old in the movie. So, I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah, I mean, Peterbilt Confederacy says 17 wasn't underage in 1912. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, and I thought about that myself, but what's that got to do with the current state of things? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like nothing is historically contextualized. It's
are we not in the business of judging things based off of the current day context instead of its...
We judge anachronistically, unless, of course, it's something that we want to avoid judging because in current day, it's fine. That's why we don't consider Muhammad to be a 7th century pedophilic, caravan robbing, slave owning scumbag. Because Muslims are oppressed.
Absolutely should. It's just my opinion. Let's not make this a political stream.
Well, that wasn't political. That was historical.
The idea of decontextualizing versus contextualizing things based off of the politics of what is good and bad does seem a little borderline politicky.
Hey, so Amelie, I've heard of this film, never seen it. Amelie is an innocent, naive girl in Paris. With her own sense of justice, she decides to help those around her and along the way discovers love. You ever seen it?
Her own sense of justice. Now that can mean several things.
Yeah, like are we talking about like Batman? She's out there like beating up villains and shit at night dressed as like whatever.
That might be a very interesting movie.
She certainly looks like the Joker in this picture. I mean, look at that.
I'm getting some Joker vibes here.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, other one.
Oh, the original title was Le Faible Destin Emile Poulain.
Ew, French.
I know.
Get it off the screen. We don't need that kind of nonsense on this show. Does this look like a Surrenderland show?
So the third film in their top 100 is Melina from 2000. Amidst the war climate, a teenage boy, pictured here in the poster, discovering himself love-stricken by Melina, a sensual woman living in a small, narrow-minded Italian town. Ooh, Monica Bellucci. She's sexy as fuck.
I have a question. Is a teenage boy discovering himself a euphemism for he was vigorously masturbating the whole movie?
It's usually what teenage boys do.
Yeah. Is that not how one discovers oneself, because I feel like that's subtext for that.
Is that what's going on?
I feel like maybe
He discovers love when his fleshlight arrives in the mail. Like
it is a rated R movie for a reason. That's all I'm gonna say there.
Oh yeah. So like, does this woman like? Because I see the little boy with his bicycle in the background here. Like, look here. See, I mean, look, he's a little boy, right? Like, does Monica Bellucci like totally like MILF him down? Is that what happens?
I want to say maybe that might be the case. I don't know though.
Huh.
Here, check out the synopsis. I'm curious. Let's spoil it.
I already read the synopsis.
No. Not the like the 10-word summary. The synopsis of the plot.
Okay. So Melina, original title, Melina.
Oh,
but now it's got an accent. Where is the synopsis?
Should be down further topcast storyline.
Storyline. Okay. Melina is about the peril of a beauty through the eyes of a 12-year-old kid named Renato. He experiences 3 things on the same day: beginning of war, getting a bike, and seeing the arrival of Melina in town. Through his eyes, we see the curse of beauty and loneliness of Melina, whose husband is presumed to be dead, and through his soul, we see his love for her.
What? Go to the plot.
Hold on, look at the tags. Look at the tags. Italy, poverty, coming of age, masturbation, and woman-on-woman violence.
Okay, so knowing these things, chat, I think we can assert that Renato at one point in the story sees Melina, and it spurs him into some
vigorous masturbation.
Yeah. And because of it, his mother walks in on him while this is happening, by the way.
Why? Well, whoa. Is that what you thought?
No. Hang on. Let me finish my prediction for how the movie goes down.
Okay.
His mother walks in on him while he is vigorously masturbating to this woman across, like, I don't know, the street or whatever. She sees this. She is enraged. So
the mother or Melina?
The mother.
Okay.
So she quickly takes her wooden spoon, you know, the one that all Italian mothers are famous for. Swacks him upside the head. Then she goes down onto the street and starts beating on Melina.
And that's the woman-on-woman violence.
And that's the woman-on-woman violence. See, I had to bring it full circle,
right?
For all the tags that we saw, and that is the plot.
I'm just saying, like, look at Monica Bellucci here, and this is from 2000. Like Jesus Christ, she was in peak hotness then. I'm just saying. Maybe if I was a 12-year-old boy, some vigorous masturbation might occur. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm not faulting you for it or anyone else for it. I'm just saying it's a questionable choice to make a movie about a teenage boy masturbating to an older woman in any year, personally. But what do I know? I'm not a filmmaker.
All right. So it's this. So Melina, the next one, number 4, is The Legend of 1900. Never even heard of it. A baby boy, wow, things are getting real deep, discovered in 1900 on an ocean liner, grows into a musical prodigy, never setting foot on land.
So how is this a romance?
Yeah, and it's got Tim Roth in it, which is cool because Tim Roth is the man.
But how is this a romance? I've not seen this.
He probably discovers romance while on the boat.
Oh,
maybe Melina shows up.
Hang on, the director of the last movie and this movie are the same director.
Oh,
Go up one. I want to see if maybe he's also Jean-Pierre Jeunet. I don't know if I said that right. Okay, but
yeah, Brad Young says it right. Some Euros are just weird, man. Yeah, most of these are all European movies. Like, what
who
the
wants
fuck?
to see that?
Okay, so the next one, number 5, is A Very Long Engagement from 2004.
Can we also just?
There you go. There's your director from.
Bet you it's a weird plot. But also, can we just abhor the titling here? A Very Long Engagement. Why not?
A perfectly timed engagement.
No. I have no problem with the fact that it was a long engagement, but like, Why does it have to be a very long engagement? Why can't it be an endless engagement? Or, I don't know, like, Barry? Really?
I'm just saying, we've been through 5 movies and we've only had 3 directors. This guy picked 2 films and then 2 films directed by the same director.
Mm-hmm.
Jean-Pierre Jean
I
and
don't think that's
Giuseppe Tornati Tori.
That's absolutely not a coincidence. Also, the last movie didn't even gross $1 million.
Yeah,
Just
I
like to
noticed
point
that.
that out.
Yeah, it was poor Tim Roth. What the fuck, man?
Bruh. All right. Carry on.
Okay, so number 6.
Ooh,
This
Daniel
Dr.
Florida asked
Zhivago.
a great question. Are subtitles a deal breaker when choosing a movie? I'm going to say yes, because oftentimes I don't just watch a movie to watch the movie. I watch a movie to fill in the background noise while I'm doing literally anything else.
And you don't want to hear, oh, je sais quoi.
Well, how am I supposed to? I don't understand French, so
Yeah,
how am I going to understand the movie if it's in subtitles and I'm not reading the subtitles? Like, dubs over subs every day. Thank you very much. But
Ooh,
Dr. Zhivago,
there's a spicy opinion to say online, Weebo. Careful.
Dubs over subs. I said what I said, fools. No, I'm not saying that all dubs are better than all subs. What I am saying is I prefer dubs over subs. Not because they're better, but because ain't nobody got time to watch shit.
Now, I have seen Dr. Zhivago.
I know.
You didn't know.
I didn't know?
Well, I said I've seen Dr. Zhivago, and you said I know.
No, I said I haven't.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
The life of a Russian physician and poet, although married to another, falls in love with a political activist's wife and experiences hardship during World War I and then the October Revolution.
Ooh, fancy.
That was all right.
It was all right. Not 6th place.
Number 7, Forrest Gump.
Oh, I have opinions about this ranking here, right here.
Uh-huh.
Would you like to read the summary first before I go off?
Okay. The summary is the presidencies of Kennedy and Johnson, the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal, and other historical events unfold from the perspective of an Alabama man with an IQ of 75, whose only desire is to be reunited with his childhood sweetheart, who's named Jenny.
Okay, so I'm gonna preamble with the question. I'm gonna preamble my rant with a question. Does a good romantic movie have to end with a happy ending, or, in your opinion, Polly, should it be riddled with drama and tragedy and all the things in between?
Okay, you said should it be? It needn't have a happy ending, is what I would say. It totally can end with drama and it be an unhappy ending. My favorite movie of all time, Casablanca, as you know, does not have a happy. It has a happy ending for Rick in the sense that he receives redemption of a sort, but he doesn't get the girl, as it were. So the romance aspect of it, no, but it is high romance in the classic sense of the word and in the boy girl sense of the word. Or girl, or boy. Don't cancel Weebo. I was just trying to make,
No, I asked that question just because.
And then also, what I think of as an extremely high romance film is Lost in Translation. And they don't end up together at the end of that movie. But that movie is fucking incredible. Okay. So, yeah.
I would agree with you. A movie doesn't have to end happily for it to not. Movie doesn't have to end happily for it to be considered a romance movie, but the movie, for it to be considered a romance movie, I feel like has to, most of the time, focus on the romance aspect of the relationship in order to be cast as a romance movie. And I don't think Forrest Gump fucking does that.
No, I don't think it does either, and especially because... Okay, so you remember Forrest Gump then?
I remember it vividly, and I remember very little of it actually focusing on the relationship between Jenny and Forrest, and
Very
much of
little
it
of it does.
focusing just on Forrest himself and his life, with like little snippets of Jenny just dropping in wherever.
Whose only desire is to be reunited with his childhood sweetheart. Denied. That's a poor description.
I don't think that is the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think that is his
Forrest
only
going
desire.
about his life. And, yeah, part of his life is that he fell in love with Jenny and he considered her not to be simply a girl, but the girl. And yeah, that's part of it. And that's why he's willing to welcome her back into his life, into Greenbow, Alabama, or whatever. I forget the particular name of the town. There's points for that. I mean, the idea of the young boy who becomes smitten with the young girl. Yeah, it's touching. It's and then of course, when she returns to him and dies and he buries her under the tree, that's heart tugging. Like that's some deep shit right there. But I can't help but I don't know. Maybe it's just my layers of cynicism and trust issues talking. But like, okay, so here's this woman and she becomes like this fake revolutionary for like a hot minute, LARPing as a flower child. And then when that's not cool, she becomes a cocaine club whore, disco hoe in the 70s, and then ends up getting herself AIDS, and then comes back to the only guy who's going to take care of her. Now I know that's a really cynical read of what happened, but tell me that's not what happens.
Absolutely what happens.
But do you understand what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It's like I end up like there's a lot of empathy that as a guy, I don't know, maybe women too, I don't know, but they end up extending to Forrest because it's like, bro, she's settled. Don't you see that? And it's like, no, I don't think he does.
No,
and I feel bad for her because there's the moments when she's throwing rocks at her house because of the abuse she suffered at the hands of her father or stepfather, whatever it was. Like, yeah, okay, deep emotional, dramatic moments, but in the end, she handled her shit real poor and didn't exactly treat our man Gump with a lot of respect. No.
Well, it's her stories basically girl with daddy issues does girl with daddy issues things and then has a girl with daddy issues type ending. Forrest Gump's story is much more interesting because that's the point. The point of his life, though, is not this whirlwind romance with Jenny. The point of his life is man with severe mental disability or, intelligence deficit lives his life, and that's the appeal of Forrest Gump, not the romance aspect in any capacity. And I don't even think, like I said, it doesn't take up so much of the movie that I would consider Forrest Gump to be a romantic movie, much less rank in the top 100 best romantic movies on IMDb. Like, what the fuck? What were you smoking?
And inlay the problem of what you just said. So Brad Young says, I love that movie. I don't care what anyone says. Hey man, I like the movie too. Yeah. There's like I said, I just named a bunch of positive things about it that were like real heart tugging moments. There's depth to it. There's some really good comedy to it. It's a well told story. I am not a particular big fan of Tom Hanks, but fuck, was he ever memorable in that film? Like, there's no denying any of those things. I liked it as well, but as Weebo just said, to have it as number 7 in romance, I'm not saying it's a bad film. I'm just simply saying it's poorly placed here. Like, if I scroll down and the next film is Dr. Strangelove, I'm going to be, what the fuck, in the same kind of way. It doesn't mean it's a bad film. It's just, what the hell's it doing here? Well,
I wouldn't even rank it on this list because I don't consider it to be a romantic movie. It's not a romance. It's better as I would say drama. Yeah, sure.
Oh shit, your boy Pat's here. What's up, Pat?
It's a fantastic story, but it's not a romance.
Yeah, I just don't think it fits in this category, even though there are definitely romantic aspects to it. Yeah. Yeah. So moving on, let's find out. Oh, Gone with the Wind. Okay. I
feel like I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
It's an epic drama, a historical epic drama, a romance film. Of course, there's romantic aspects to it, but I don't. What is with this list?
Did they run out of Nicholas Sparks movies? Because I feel like Nicholas Sparks movies. Those are patently romantic movies because they're intended to be romantic.
Don't get me wrong, Bad Young. I wasn't trying to
movies.
argue with you. I was just interacting with the chat. That's all. Like, so Gone with the Wind. Yeah, I don't know. I
haven't seen it. Or
no,
if
I like Clark
I don't
Gable in it. It's pretty
remember
awesome. Vivian Lee does a great job as her role. It's
I have seen it.
It's worth seeing. It's a little hard to watch Vivian Lee slapping around her fucking houseworker, but whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna say something right now. If My Fair Lady ranks on this list, I'm gonna have an absolute fit. All right, I'm just saying it right now. Because I again don't. I have this opinion about My Fair Lady, the movie. It's not a romantic movie. Comedy, sure, but I don't think that the relationship between the professor and Eliza Doolittle actually counts as a romantic one. Just because he's much older than her,
right?
But chiefly because nothing about their dynamic screams romance to me in any way, shape, or form. And
I heard someone describe it as like one giant grooming film.
Well, I mean, yeah. If the end goal was for the professor, if the end goal of the writer was to have the professor and Eliza get it on with each other, then yes, that is exactly what they did, or what the professor did was groom Eliza. But
I think there's a lot
to take out that aspect.
I liked it. I like the idea of the man or woman in either direction where they're interacting with somebody for a particular reason and end up falling in love with them. That is a fucking like key story idea. It's like the star-crossed lovers.
Yes.
It's core. And like Nas said, no idea is original. It's not new under the sun. It's never what you do. It's how it's done. Yeah. If you do it well, holy shit, that can really work. The interaction with someone, it wasn't supposed to be romantic, but you end up falling in love with the person over time. So it's earned. Like, you know what I mean? Like the romance between the two people is earned. So My Fair Lady, I don't seem to be as upset by it as you are.
Okay. I can get behind the idea of like two people interacting with each other, suddenly just having to fall in love with each other. If it's done well, if you can tell that is where this is heading. But at no point in the movie, while I was watching it, did I feel like, oh yeah, they're gonna end up together at the end of the movie. At no point did I feel like there was a romantic relationship forming here. There was no tension of the romantic nature here. It just felt like man finds a homeless thing and decides to train it.
Weebo, whoa,
and train and turns it into great show dog, and then parades it around at dog shows.
Okay, you know what I'm worried about appearing on this list? Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Man, I've got issues with that play and movie, man. I love me some Marlon Brando, but I've got issues with that story, man. I mean, it is not okay. I mean, it's not
like
so
okay.
Put that out there.
In terms of romance,
Carson Lennox asked a good question. It's like when Harry Met Sally on there? I don't know yet. That's a good question.
We'll find out.
But Wolf Dad, best take yet. Bosom Buddies was Hank's best work. Agreed. Why hasn't he been canceled for transphobia? I mean, come on.
I don't know.
What the hell?
Bosom Buddies.
Oh, you don't know about Bosom Buddies?
I've not seen it.
Okay, so Bosom Buddies is a TV show, bad comedy, way back in the fucking day. I don't know, 70s, 80s. I have no idea. Tom Hanks and his friend want to move into this apartment building, but I think the plot is it's the entire building can only be rented to women, or that particular apartment can only be rented to women. So they dress up. They go transvestite. They dress up as women so they can get the apartment. So the whole film is just about the whole show rather is just about them cross-dressing and a bunch of stupid comedy in and around them cross-dressing. And it's called Bosom Buddies. Get it? Like
I get it.
It's real shit comedy, and it's wow. And so to say it's his best work is like kind of, Tom Hanks,
I made a really interesting piece
early
of
career choice. Yeah. I mean, the guy was trying to work. All right. He needed a job. So moving
Hey,
on.
he didn't write the damn thing.
The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Okay. From what
Thoughts?
I remember, isn't that the one where he's aging backwards?
Correct. The story it tells the story of Benjamin Button, a man who starts aging backwards with consequences.
Okay.
There's consequences to that. I wouldn't have imagined.
See, I remember the aging backwards part. I don't remember the romance very well, if at all, which makes me think, hey, maybe this wasn't a romance or a good romance movie.
Who's this? Before they were stars. Okay, who's that?
I don't know.
Well, whoever it is, they've been waxing their chest. Okay, I was just scrolling down for the
got distracted.
Storyline. Okay. On the day that English, I speak it. On the day that Hurricane Katrina hits New Orleans, elderly Daisy Williams, nee Fuller, is on her deathbed in a New Orleans hospital. At her side is her adult daughter, Caroline. Daisy asks Caroline to read her aloud the diary of Daisy's lifelong friend, Benjamin Button. Benjamin's diary recounts his entire extraordinary life, the primary unusual aspect of which being he was aging backwards, being diagnosed with several aging diseases at birth and thus given little chance of survival. But who does survive and gets younger with time? Abandoned by his biological father, Thomas Button, after Benjamin's biological mother died in childbirth, Benjamin was raised by Queenie, a black woman and caregiver at a senior's home. Daisy's grandmother was a resident at Ellipsis.
Oh, look at the tags.
Yeah.
Aging, lingerie slip, older man, younger woman relationship, deformed baby. Yeah, it seems about right. Thank you, Lanny Stanfield, for the donation. Don't like starting streams in the middle, so I'll watch the stream later. You've got the brains and the looks. Go make lots of money.
I appreciate that, Lenny. Thank you.
Okay. I appreciate.
Oh, was that for you?
Too.
Oh.
You're just an utter.
Well, I feel foolish now. Damn it, Lanny. I got it. I was all excited.
No, we just.
Okay, you know what? I don't know. Okay, have you seen this movie?
I have seen this movie, but like
perhaps
I said,
you can solve something for me. Does he pop out of his mom as an adult? I understand. Does he? So like,
no, okay,
he grows to adulthood and then starts reversing. What happens?
Okay, so it's a really like the concept of the story was interesting in itself. He pops out of his mother as a baby, but with the health and features of an old man.
Okay.
So he's got, like the synopsis stated, lots of health issues that typically only elderly would get, like Parkinson's, or not maybe not Parkinson's, but like dementia, and like heart failure and high blood pressure and all these things that I don't want to seem ageist. I don't want to offend some of my viewers because I know some of them are not spring chickens. But he's got a lot of issues that typically elderly people have. And then as he ages, he loses a lot of those ailments and starts like he's born as an old man, grows into a young adult, and dies as an infant. So he's aging backwards. You have to watch it.
Okay.
To get it, because I can't exactly describe everything about Benjamin Button, but that is the curious case of Benjamin Button, is that he ages backwards. He's born an old man and dies an infant, but he pops out of his mother's womb the size of an infant.
Okay.
Wait, why'd you make it go away? Yeah. Are we done with the list?
No. I was just looking to see if there was another. I'm trying to pop chat out here, and then you would get Inception. Okay, so I understand. So he grows up to the end. So he grows up to a certain age, and then does start reverse aging.
So as he's growing into a young man, he's still old, but he's aging backwards. So he's losing those ailments while he's aging. So he like loses the Parkinson's, and he loses the rheumatoid arthritis, and he loses his like dementia. I think he has like all of the ailments that a typical older person would. He gradually loses them as he ages into a younger man. But as he's aging into a young man, so like as he is technically 13 years old, he is still got the health and the body physicality of, not the size, but the body physicality of like an 87-year-old. If, say, he comes out of the womb 100 years old, at 13, he's got the physicalness of an 87-year-old. Or at 20, he's got the physicality of an 80-year-old. And so on and so forth.
Okay.
It's, like I said, it's very hard to explain. But
there. Okay, so chat's popped out there. Now I have everything on the screen. Okay, so Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Is that Jim Carrey doing?
It is Jim. Yep, Jim Carrey right there.
Doing a not funny movie. What's that about?
When their relationship turns sour, a couple undergoes a medical procedure to have each other erased from their memories. Really?
How is that a romance?
I don't know.
I mean, it sounds interesting. I've never seen it before. Have you seen it before?
No, I can't stand Jim Carrey.
Okay, then.
He legit drives me crazy. Like just watching the man like walk and talk. I just want to like. It's like, you know, people get mugged every day. Why can't he be one of them?
Polly, that's mean.
Well, I didn't say harm. I don't want him to get beaten up. Just mugged. And like I said, I don't want him to get mugged. I'm saying people mug people every day. Why can't
he be one of those?
That's what I'm saying. I think repeat muggings day after day after day after day until the man was afraid to go outside. I mean, would that be the worst thing?
Yes. That's a horrible fate.
I heard watching an interview with Kiefer Sutherland where he was being interviewed by Jay Leno, and they're both talking about the amount of times they've been mugged. They've been mugged. Jay Leno was mugged 3 times, and Kiefer Sutherland had just recently been mugged. He's like, so I was walking my dog, and all of a sudden I felt something stab me, like or poke into like my back, like where people think their kidneys are, but really aren't. You know, like
down here or up here. Where is it that people think their kidneys are? Because I'm pretty sure like kidneys are. Yeah, well, see,
you're pointing to the back. Your kidneys are actually in the front.
Well. You can get to the kidneys through the back.
Well, you can. Well, you get my point, though. In the back, that's where he felt something jab. And the guy and the guy says, you know, this is gonna get down on the ground. And Sutherland was like, yeah, okay. And he felt his. I guess he was like one of them dudes where they wear jeans and they have their wallet in their back pocket to the point where you can see the outline of the wallet. You know what I'm talking about? Like worn into the jeans. So the guy saw his wallet, and he just pulled the wallet out of his back pocket and ran off, and that was it. That was the whole story. For Leno, you know, he's a big car enthusiast, motorcycle enthusiast. Twice he pulled up to a stop sign or a stoplight, and somebody did the same thing, ran up on him, and he says, when you got the helmet on, you can't see shit, like in terms of peripheral vision, and that's how a lot of motherfuckers mug you, is they just run up and they just, you know, give me your shit. And he goes, I've been mugged 3 times. He goes, it's life in Los Angeles. And Kiefer Sutherland was like, yeah, it was just like, it happened so fast. And see, I'm saying Jay Leno, multimillionaire, famous person, Kiefer Sutherland, multimillionaire, famous person. They've been mugged. You know, why can't Jim Carrey get mugged over and over and over again to the point where he's afraid to go outside?
That's still a horrible fate. I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy to like live in constant fear that someone's gonna come at you with a knife. Just seems horrible.
He's an anti-Second Amendment communist. That's
okay,
enough.
that doesn't mean he deserves to get mugged.
Well, I didn't say deserved. I said people get mugged every day. Why can't he be one of them? That's different.
Potato.
All right, so that was number 10.
Before we move
Eternal
on,
sunshine on his mind with holes. Okay.
I just want to thank the next 6 minutes for the donation that he gave a couple days ago, actually. In the Streamlabs, Modern Marvel has turned my beautiful Jennifer Walters into a dude. She-Hulk was brilliant, confident, and courageous, all the while being complex and flawed. She was a well-rounded and interesting character to read. Now she's a Hulk replacement with tits. Oof. And then SS Serpent 21 donated to say Forrest Gump, still a more romantic story than Twilight. Attack of the Clones, still a more romantic story than Twilight. Straw Dogs, still a more romantic story than Twilight. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, still a more romantic story than Twilight.
Oh.
Speaking of Twilight, Polly, how is our collab coming?
Oh, excellently.
Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You remember the collab I'm talking about, right?
I do.
The one where we watch all the movies and we
all
commentate over the movies, all
Yeah.
5 of the movies, and we commentate over all 5 of the movies.
Yeah, I don't even need to edit them. You know what I mean? Remember we were talking like a couple of,
Yeah.
of cocktail hours ago? It's like I could just throw them up on my stream channel, like raw.
Mhm.
Just combine them all, like because we recorded separate Audacity recordings. We recorded our. So there would be no audio ducking, is the point, and that's the value in doing that. Unfortunately, Discord, while being very, very useful and efficient for some things, is very, very poor at some things. And audio quality and audio ducking, despite their claims of crisp audio, are not really up to snuff as recording directly off your own mic. That's still the best.
They tried.
Yeah, they did.
An effort was made.
Twink light, your boy Pat says. Yeah, do you think Twilight's going to be on here?
I hope not.
Okay, let's find out.
Given what we've seen so far, I have no hope.
The Apartment from 1960. Never heard of it. Oh,
No.
starring Jack Lemmon. Jack Lemmon's the man. A man tries to rise his company by letting its executives use his apartment for trysts. But complications and romance of his own ensue. So he lets his executives
Use his apartment
bang hoes? Yeah.
Apparently that gets in the way of his love life. Who could have ever seen that one coming?
And that's high romance, huh? All right.
I guess. What does approved mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I see that. Approved. Maybe back in 1960, because there was no PG-13 and stuff. It's just approved for all audiences. That was this.
But if you take a look at that Casablanca right there in 1942, it does say PG. So what's up with that?
Maybe it was reevaluated under the new standard.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Casablanca from 1962. A cynical expatriate American cafe owner struggles to decide whether or not to help his former lover and her fugitive husband escape the Nazis in French Morocco.
Yeah, that's definitely a romance movie.
That's kind of what happens there. It's Michael Curtiz's imitable classic. I mean, it pulled in $1 million in 1942. Unheard of for a film like that. Yeah. Greatest thing ever committed to celluloid. Thank you, Serpa21, for the $3. You don't wish endless muggings on Jim. Quote, I used to make $20 million a movie, but I think communism is a good idea, Carrie.
That's fair.
You wish painful testicles on him. Don't forget, Carrie divorced Lauren Holly. Fucking retard. He was married to Lauren Holly?
I don't know who that is.
Yes, that does put him in the category of being a fucking retard. She's a gorgeous woman, natural redhead.
Wait, did he divorce her or did she divorce him?
I don't know. Serpent 21 says he divorced her. Yeah, that guy's a fucking moron. But like from what I've seen of him in interviews and discussions, he's like a weirdo freak. So it's like maybe Lauren Holly made the right call. let us look up Lauren Holly, shall we?
I don't know who he's talking about or who you're talking about. So
Lauren Holly.
if I could get a visual.
Oh, wait a minute. I just wrote sexy and my safe searches. Let me just turn safe search on. Weebo, I want you to continue to have a channel. It's
thank you. Oh, that's Lauren Holly. Ow.
This is okay. Her boobage looks weird there. There's a nice picture of her. Yeah, she's looking good there. She's older here. Man, that shirt.
It's working.
It's working overtime.
Yeah.
Whatever you paid for it, it was worth it. I mean,
I guess.
Hello. Let's just go over here and just.
You gonna save that?
I mean, that she's milfing it like all day and then extra on the weekends. Hello.
See, usually women with larger caliber breasticles, they don't look fantastic in shirts that don't accentuate the cleavage line, because shirts tend to circus tent on them. And that is an unfortunate.
The stress lines right here.
Yeah, that happens.
It's awesome, isn't it?
No, Polly, it's not awesome as someone who has to deal with that nonsense.
No, okay. Allow me to speak from the male perspective, which is an awesome responsibility indeed. The stress points between the breasticles are fucking epic. It's like the shirt is holding on for dear life. Like, oh, it's a great thing.
If it were a button up, there would be a hole in the middle where it was stressed. Like, this is why I can't wear button-ups that aren't unbuttoned to, like, here and have several amounts of inches of give on the chesticle area. Like, I need specialized shirts for my configuration.
Let's go ahead and look up. Oops.
It's a wonderful struggle, says Carl Hinkus. Are you sure?
Oh, hello, Miss Holly. When she was younger, she had it going on.
Anyway, so Polly, romance movies, shall we?
What? This is very romantic. Whew, someone didn't skip gym day, huh?
Polly, ow.
Woof! Hello, Miss Holly. Look at that. Look at when she reaches out. Oh, yeah. Okay, right. Romance movies. Right. We were doing the thing. Okay.
As much fun as it would be to turn this into a happy hour instead of
City Lights with Charlie Chaplin.
Really?
With the aid of a wealthy erratic tippler, a dewy-eyed tramp who has fallen in love with a sightless flower girl accumulates money to be able to help her medically.
I've never seen it. Have you?
No. What's a tippler?
Let's find out.
Oh, all right, let's do that.
Tippler.
A breed of domestic pigeon.
Really?
Well, I don't know.
To drink or engage in sex drinking, especially habitually or to excess.
Oh, yeah, to drink, yeah.
An alcoholic.
So, a drunk. A wealthy, erratic drunk.
Okay.
Huh. All right, moving on. So the artiste. An egomaniacal film star develops a relationship with a young dancer against the backdrop of Hollywood's silent era.
I also have not seen this one.
Nor have I.
Moving on.
Starring Jean Dargent, Bernice Bijot, and John Goodman.
Ooh.
And James Cromwell. Okay, moving on. Groundhog Day. Oh, yeah. Woo.
I've not seen this one. Is it really good?
You really?
Movie? No, I haven't.
Wow. Yeah, highly recommended, man. Fuck yes. Andy McDowell is hot as hell in it, like in like the girl next door kind of way. Okay. And in the bright and not to be taken lightly, like a woman in possession of herself. And Bill Murray is his ever charismatic self with his unique, inimitable comedy. You know the plot of it, right?
He relives the same day over and over again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know anything else about it.
It's the path that he goes through while living the same day over and over again. He ends up in Pawtucket, Rhode Island for Groundhog Day.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big city guy. He thinks that he's gonna headed for the big time, bigger and bigger cities. He's just gonna get larger and larger. That's his dream. He views himself as a sophisticate and somebody who's destined for bigger and better things. So being in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, is a nightmare for him. Small town, podunk nowhere. Thinks everyone who lives there is a yokel. Yeah, of course he doesn't want to be there, and ends up living the same day there. Every day he wakes up and he's in the same place at the same bed and breakfast that he decided to lodge at. And it's the process of day after day and learning that these people are actually warm-hearted people, that and that Andy McDowell is not some artsy hipster that he wouldn't have an interest in. He finds out that she's actually an extremely complicated woman, and he ends up falling in love with her. But of course, the tragedy of it is she never remembers. She always, as the day starts over again, remembers him as the asshole, as the scumbag who thinks himself too good for everyone around him, who's just a mean prick, to her included. But he thinks his experience of her is like in this growing way that he learns stuff about her day after day after day. And the director of the film, Harold Ramis, director and writer, in an interview said that he was there for centuries, living the same day over and over. So he becomes a musical expert. He knows everything about every person in the town, and it just on it goes. And what do you do? He tries killing himself. It doesn't work. He tries killing himself in dozens of different ways. It doesn't work. He still just keeps waking up. It's interesting how it's a comedy romance. It sounds very dark, and there are some sort of dark elements to it, but they're always played for black comedy. Yeah, highly recommended film. It's just I don't know anyone that said Poxitani, Pennsylvania. Yeah, there. Sorry, not
now.
Yeah,
you say that, and there's
corrected.
One fun fact that I know about Groundhog Day, even though I haven't seen it yet. It was actually filmed in Woodstock, Illinois, which is where I got my driver's license.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because there's like a DMV out there that is super expedient on the like getting people in and out, getting their shit done.
This should have been much higher on the list if we're including weird stuff. In the Mood for Love.
Yeah.
Seems Korean? No. Those don't look like Korean. Those are a Hong Kong film, I'm guessing. Two neighbors form a strong bond after both suspect extramarital activities of their spouses. However, they agree to keep their bond platonic so as to not commit similar wrongs. Huh. It's an interesting idea. I don't know how it would play out. I've never seen it. All right, moving on.
Never seen it. Her.
It's ma'am.
Joaquin Phoenix.
In a near future, yeah, that way he can cover up his hair lip with that mustache. In a near future, a lonely writer develops an unlikely relationship with an operating system designed to meet his every need. Really?
Hang on. Pause. With an operating system. An operating system. So like a Windows or a Macintosh.
Yeah, it's
or a Linux.
Scarlett,
because that's what an operating system is.
Well, yeah.
It's the thing that you download onto your computer in order to do everything else that you would normally do on the computer.
I just want to see how Scarlett Johansson looks in this movie.
Sorry, yes, Mac OS. Thank you, Jim Bean.
That's not her.
That's Olivia Wilde.
It is,
which
indeed.
is also not her real name, by the way.
What is it?
I don't remember, but she took the last name Wilde from Oscar Wilde.
How artistic of her. Oh, she's a modern day Renaissance woman. Oh, God. I hate when you're
What does that even
fucking
mean?
nothing. I hate when you're
Isn't a Renaissance supposed to be a rebirth?
No, Olivia Wilde. That's her real name.
Jane Cockburn.
Well, nobody wants to go by the name Cockburn.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give her a pass on the Wilde.
Yeah. If you're like a Renaissance man or a Renaissance woman, it means you're into an array of different things, usually intellectual. You're into painting and art and self-expression. It means you're into a number of different things, usually intellectual.
Oh, so she is an eclectic.
Yes, and it's just extremely clear that her publicist wrote this. As a modern-day Renaissance woman starring in many acclaimed films while simultaneously giving back to the community. Can I say go fuck yourself in like 35 different languages right now to the son of a bitch who wrote that?
Polly, while we're here, look up yourself.
I will not.
You should.
I will not.
Come on.
I'm identified as a furry here, okay? For Christ's sake. There, Polydub, director in Noir Bar. That's me.
Yeah.
Is a director and actor known for Noir Bar, Monkey in the Morning, and Minions of the Zoo. See full bio. Okay, let's see the full bio. There it is.
All of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at me.
All right, let's do that.
Just because we're here. And I am so self-absorbed.
She's an actress from SideQuest. Weebo Jones is an actress known for SideQuest, Warski Live. Oh, hell yeah! And Lords of the Night. See full bio. That was your full bio.
We need to update the IMDb pages with Cocktail Hour now.
Right? And Old Man Enfield says you got to add AAA. Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
These are outdated, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if I should hire a publicist.
Good. James Colley said I would not call Cowboys and Aliens an acclaimed film.
Oh wait, is she really in that movie?
It just made me laugh. It's like I'm not gonna lie, she looks extremely pretty there. There's no question.
She's got a very square jaw.
Yes, she does.
Like if you were to look at her dead on, her face is a very square face, which is actually rather attractive on her.
Click, 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 click. Not
Are
happening.
you having some struggles there, Paul?
Yeah, I'm clicking and nothing's happening. Walking Dead, the final season. How the fuck did I get here?
It's not over yet?
I don't know.
Aren't all the main characters from the original season dead?
See, that's what happens when you fuck with your nose.
Hey, Polly, I was thinking about getting a nose job. Thoughts?
Leave your face alone, woman. All right, let's move on from walk-in here. Before sunrise. Young man and a woman meet on a train in Europe. They enter into a relationship of extreme BDSM. One of them dies. Police investigate. Subsequently find
That's
it.
not how that. That's not how that.
Just reading what it says here.
Mm-hmm.
And wind up spending one evening together in Vienna. Unfortunately, both know this will probably be their only night together. Oh no! Ask her for anal.
Oh my god. The worst that she can say is no.
That's right. You can
Get
think
away
about it
from me,
years
please.
later when your wife is talking to you.
Before sunrise.
Brokeback Mountain.
I read that story. I did not watch that movie though.
Is it based on a book? I didn't know that.
It's based on a short story, actually.
Oh, okay.
A short, really short, like one-page story.
Oh. I was looking for my phone and I couldn't find it. Now I found it. Here we are.
Did you watch it?
Brokeback Mountain? No.
Wait. His name is Enos? Like,
is his name real? Enos and Jack are two shepherds who develop a sexual and
Enos
emotional
Jack.
Yeah.
Jack.
The relationship becomes complicated when both of them get married to their respective girlfriends and find they can't quit each other.
Wait, Heath Ledger's in that movie?
Yeah. And Jake Gyllenhaal. Who are both actually gay.
Really?
No, I made that up.
You sly dog, you.
You sly dog. I haven't heard that in so long. The Reader, post-World War II Germany. Oh, the Flatlands. Okay, nearly a decade after his affair with an older woman came to a mysterious end, law student Michael Berg re-encounters his former lover as she defends herself in a war crime trial. Oh, no shit. Oh.
I mean, that sounds interesting.
Kate Winslet.
I'd watch it. Ralph.
Would you?
Phineas.
Yeah, I mean, see, here's the thing.
It sounds interesting.
Weebo.
Yeah.
You know, I said, oh, you should watch Casablanca, and then you came away with the wrong opinion. And then
there are no such thing as wrong opinions.
This is a special case.
Yes.
Well, I would agree, but this is a special
that back.
case. Yeah, I mean, some people think communism's a good idea. I mean, obviously, there's wrong opinions.
It's ignorant.
This is so ignorant.
It's silly. It's a nice sentiment, but you're just wrong.
And then I subsequently asked you, you didn't find that romantic. What would you classify as romance? And you came back with Sense and Sensibility, or no, Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice, which we subsequently watched. And I was like, oh, okay, so this kind of romance is the thing that Weebo's into. See, I'm far more open-minded than Weebo is. So I was like, okay, yeah, I see. I get what you liked about it. And what? What happened?
You're just taking little digs at me.
I am?
Because of my opinion on your favorite movie ever.
Just saying.
You know you are. Don't gaslight me.
Maybe. Don't gaslight me. Yeah. So I got it. I was like, okay, yeah, I see it. I probably wouldn't have watched this if Weebo hadn't said, okay, we're going to watch this. And I had asked. It's not like she forced it on me. I was like, okay, so we're going to watch Weebo's opinion of what the most romantic movie is, or what a good example of high romance is, right? And it was like, oh, okay, so this stuff, and I liked it, and you know, sexy lady starred in it, so I was totally happy. Yeah, she's a lot of fun to look at. I was hoping in going through this that we were going to come across a film where it was like high romance, where it's like we want to see this, but it would
I'll
kind of
watch
be best.
Groundhog Day.
I was about to say
probably this week for movie night, actually, on Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you should. I was thinking that it should be like a movie that like catches our attention. Is like, oh my god, that's such a romantic premise, and go watch it when we both haven't seen. Now, I'd watch Groundhog Day with you, and I will watch it with you for your. I'm assuming your patrons, what have you, movie night.
Well, not patrons, but like in the Discord, we'll just hang out, watch Groundhog Day this Wednesday. What time would be good? What do I got going on this week? Yeah, no, we can do it. 7 o'clock too early?
No, but right. that won't be a romance film. We have to find something that we're both going to watch here.
Okay. But like what?
I don't know. I was hoping that this list would give us ideas, but this list is turning out to suck.
Sorry.
Well, no, I'm not saying it to you. It's not your fault. I mean, whoever made this list sucks, obviously.
Yeah.
And has a weird opinion what qualifies as romance. I mean, Jesus.
Brokeback Mountain. This was like, well, Brokeback Mountain, I feel like qualifies based off of the synopsis alone. That seems like a romance. Like, okay, yeah, it's a romance. It's probably not the best romance in terms of, I would love to model that relationship, but a romance nonetheless. The Reader sounds interesting, though.
Does it?
Does it not to you?
What year is it? 08. Decade after an affair with an older woman came to a mysterious end, law student re-encounters his former lover as she defends herself in a war crime trial. Kate Winslet, Bruno Gaz, and Janet Han. Possibly that. This poster isn't selling it well, though. I'm not going to lie. That is not good poster imagery. Look at this. That's not winning. That's not
Yeah.
winning.
No, that doesn't really speak to me.
How far would you go to protect a secret?
Not very far. I don't care.
No, same here. All right. Let's see what else we got. Maybe something else will come up. We'll keep the reader in mind. Midnight in Paris.
Never seen it.
Yeah, I never even heard of it. Oh, Rachel McAdams. She's a hottie. Well, on a trip to Paris with his fiance's family, a nostalgic screenwriter finds himself mysteriously going back to the 1920s every day at midnight. Well, on a trip to Paris with his fiance, a nostalgic screenwriter finds himself mysteriously going. That could be like heart-tuggingly romantic if he falls in love with some woman in the past but can't stay there. That could be, you know what I'm saying?
That
Hello?
kind of reminds
Is
me
this thing
of...
on?
Yeah, no, it is. I'm just thinking because it kind of reminds me of that one movie with Christopher Reeves where he goes back in time, falls in love with a woman, and then accidentally gets sent forward in time after she's died already.
It's a comedy romance fantasy film.
Yeah.
Huh. And it's only an hour and a half. Oh, God. Directed by Woody Allen. Never mind. Moving on.
Slumdog Millionaire is a romantic movie? I've not seen it, so I don't know, but none of what I've heard about it raves about the romantic aspect of the movie.
Yeah, fuck that. Okay, The Notebook.
Okay, that one makes sense. It is literally the story of an elderly couple being told by a man to his wife because she has dementia. Like the story of how they got together. It and how they ended up like together, not just the first time or the second time, but like
Slumdog Millionaire?
no, The Notebook.
Yeah. Well, that is not at all what this description would lead one to think. Like at all, like even a little bit.
What? The Notebook or the Slumdog Millionaire?
The Notebook.
Okay.
A poor yet passionate young man falls in love with a rich young woman, giving her a sense of freedom, but they are soon separated because of their social differences. That's not at all what you just described.
Well, okay, personally, I spoiled it for you because in the end they do get together. And they spend the rest of their lives together and they love each other so much, except that she, at the end of their lives together, starts losing her memory. And so he's retelling their story to her just before she passes away.
Oh.
It's
Rachel
actually,
McAdams is in it, which is good
Mhm.
because, she's hot.
It did make me cry when I watched it.
Really? I'll bet. It sounds like just Jesus.
Like it's a tumultuous relationship in the onset, but it's beautifully tragic in the end. Like that is a romance. And I hated watching it because I was bawling by the end of it.
No. The next 6 minutes, thank you for the donation. And he says, I have been rewatching the Super Friends cartoon from the early 1970s again. It's still a great show. Great to see Superman, Batman, Robin, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman in classic form. Even the goofy sidekicks are a welcome thing. I recommended my dude. Oh, well, recommend it to the audience, but you needn't recommend it to me, sir. I have a copy of all of the Super Friends, the challenge of the Super Friends, the reuniting of the Super Friends, the Super Friends show. Each season they renamed it something different. It was really weird. And yeah, they had the young teammates that were there, and they had Super Dog, and they had all of the goofy sidekicks. It's classic 70s material into the 80s material. Yeah, I'm glad you're rewatching it. It's a fuck ton of fun, man. That is some classic Saturday morning good times.
Speaking of the next 6 minutes, thank you the next 6 minutes for the donation that you gave me over on the Streamlabs. Hey, Weebs, tell the otter to check his Streamlabs. Hey, Polly.
Yeah.
60 told me to tell you to check your Streamlabs.
Way ahead of you, girl.
Good.
The Notebook. The next one is Cold Mountain. In the waning days of the American Civil War, a wounded soldier embarks on a perilous journey to come back home to Cold Mountain, North Carolina, to reunite with his sweet heart. Well, it's got Nicole Kidman, fuck her, and Renee Zellweger, fuck her too. So, no.
It doesn't even have romance in like the tags for the genre that it's part of.
I didn't notice that. It actually doesn't. Oh
like all of the other ones previously have had that in the genre section, this one is an outlier in that sense.
Oh yeah, James Colley's Gleek. I forgot Monkey. So they got a sidekick Monkey named Gleek, and he's just there for comedy relief, running around fucking shit up. And it's just, I totally forgot about him. But I mean, I'm all for period pieces, man. I love period films, and it's like American Civil War. Oh, this is cool, but it's like, yeah, no, no.
You know, I think for a movie to be considered romantic or romance in the genre section, most of the movie, or no, not most of it, at least 50% of the movie has to focus on the actual romantic relationship that they're building. If that's not the case, then it's not a romance.
I want Rachel McAdams to grab me in the rain and kiss me like this.
Thanks for sharing.
But no, just putting that out there. I'm just saying.
You know, if she happens to be listening to us right now.
Well, you know what?
You'd have to lift her up. You know that, right?
I have to do.
You have the upper body strength to lift Rachel McAdams into the air to kiss her like this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because let me tell you the secret, gentlemen. Okay. And ladies, if this is your thing, that's fine too. You don't lift them by the waist, you lift them by the ass. Now, the advantage of this is that you have the leverage angle. Like if Gokato's still here, he could explain it as an engineer, because there's better grippage space. Plus, it's more sexually intense, you see, because you're grabbing her ass. And then when you lift her up there, it also causes her to straddle you, which, also gives you the additional leverage because she is now hoisted upon you. I may have done this before. So yeah,
yes,
hints for the future. If you want to hoist a woman up to kiss her, do so by the buttocks.
It's not the classiest of looks, though, so don't do it in public.
It's a private moment between you and your lady. I mean,
Yeah, but don't do it in public. Polly, this isn't for you. This is more advice for the people that think that it's a good idea to do it in public. I've seen it.
Well, you know what?
Many times.
Running up and I have been here running up and kissing your woman that you haven't seen in a good while at the airport arrivals section is highly romantic. That is not a time to be grabbing the ass. Just saying.
Well, I have a counterpoint. You don't have to lift her up if you don't want to. Gentlemen, it is just as romantic to kind of cup her face and bring it towards you, just also gently, and then go, well, not just, but like,
then, the way you
but like to slowly guide her face towards yours with both of your hands on either side of her cheek, just caressingly, and just go.
Yeah, wow. There's a gif. Okay, Jesus Christ.
No, but seriously, the facial caresses.
So we can move down.
It is an underappreciated move.
The piano player that apparently is actually named Gloomy Sunday. What? Well, look.
Okay, let's skip past this one. Apparently, this isn't any of what it is. Gloomy Sunday
follows three men who are in love with the most beautiful waitress, an intellectual restaurant owner, mysterious musician, and an erratic businessman taking place during world. Yeah, fuck that. Okay, match point with Scarlett Johansson. At a turning point in his life, a former penis pro falls for an actress who happens to be dating his friend.
You said penis pro or tennis pro? Because I'm reading tennis pro, but I heard penis pro.
I said former tennis pro. You got dick on the brain.
I guess.
That was fucking weird.
I swear to God, you said penis pro.
I did not.
Chat, back me up here.
It's just, I don't know what's going on over there, Weebo. Director Woody Allen. Fuck you, Woody Allen.
Oh, yeah, along. Obviously then it's penis pro.
Yeah, some like it hot. Marilyn Monroe is awesome. Tony Curtis at his prime when he was had all the swagger, man, all the swagger. And Jack Lemmon always rocks. And George Raft is super cool. It's worth watching. This poster really makes Marilyn Monroe look quite fat. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
The chat said they heard you say penis. It was not just me.
No, there was no penis. There was no penis. The best otter. That's me. Let's see.
No, that's the best offer.
You're right. Moving on. A lonely art expert working for a mysterious and reclusive heiress finds not only her art worth examining.
I get it. I get it.
You
He
see what he
also means her
does?
nether regions.
That's right. He wants to examine all kinds of spaces.
He's got to
Okay.
get all up in her crevices, if you catch my meaning.
Ooh, Donald Sutherland's in it. Donald Sutherland rocks. Oh, yeah, and it raked in all the monies. 0.09 million. Ouch.
Wonder how much it costs to make.
Enough that they're all embarrassed. Let's put it that way.
It got a 7.8.
This is the same guy, Giuseppe Tornado.
Actually, it's Giuseppe.
What did I say?
You said Giuseppe. It's Giuseppe.
Yeah, but it's not Tornado either. So what difference does it make?
Oh.
See, he directed. Hold on,
Malena and
Malena?
The Legend of 1900.
Yeah, good memory. Yeah, so this is just like they're really. I think the person who put this list together is just really down for dumb shit. I will tell you something about Match Point that makes it worth watching. There's this one moment where Scarlett Johansson, it's like zoomed in on her sexy face with her pouty lips that makes men think about certain things, and she puts a cigarette in and lights it with a match, and it's a very sexy moment. I captured it to turn into a GIF. Unfortunately, this idiot Jonathan Rhys Meyers is cutting into the scene, and I'm going to figure it out to get his stupid fucking face out of it. Anyway, The Best Otter, and the next one is The Circus, another Charlie Chaplin. Okay, look, Charlie Chaplin didn't Vertigo, the Hitchcock masterpiece as a romance film. Really,
it's an interesting choice. I've never seen it, but I've heard things.
Hey, your boy Pat says I like Melina. Monica Bellucci was hot in it. Yeah, Monica Bellucci's hot in most things, except of course The Passion of the Christ, where she was playing, Mary Magdalene, and you're not really supposed to be thinking about how hot she is during that movie.
Mary Magdalene was not the mother, but rather the other Mary.
Yeah, well, Mary was like common as all get out back then. That's why when you read the Bible, well, that's why if you ever read the Bible, you will come across Mary, the mother of Jesus, Mary of Magdalene, and thus the name. That's not her last name. That's where she's from.
Okay.
And then there's Mary Salome, and then there's Mary of Bethany, and then there's just it was super common name back then. Mr. Nobody. A boy stands at a station platform as a train is about to leave. Should he go with his mother or stay with his father? Infinite possibilities arise from this decision. As long as he doesn't choose anything, anything is possible.
How is that a romance?
Because anything is possible.
Okay. Gross. $0.00 million.
Wow. So you made nothing. Not a single person watched this movie ever.
Rough.
Yeah.
Rough.
Did you release it?
I don't remember this movie getting released.
Sitting on a shelf somewhere? The Bridges of Madison County? No.
No? You don't think it was a romantic movie?
It's old folks doing old things. It's a crusty film. Moving on.
It's a crusty film, he says.
The piano. In the mid-19th century, a mute woman is sent to New Zealand along with her young daughter and prized piano for an arranged marriage to a wealthy landowner, but is soon lusted after by a local worker at a plantation, starring Harley Hunter, Harvey Keitel, Sam Neill, and Anna Paquin.
Well,
Harvey
it makes
Keitel
sense.
rocks.
She can't say no. Is it rape?
Oof.
Sorry.
Oof.
The question had to be asked, especially since he was lusting after her. Apparently, Jesus was boning Mary of Magdalene. Now,
that's totally in the Bible. Well read.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Now,
Castaway.
if I remember Castaway. Isn't that the one where Tom Hanks is alone on the island?
Yeah. I've never seen it. Does he spend the movie like flashbacking to a romance that he had, like a pining after his lost wife?
Maybe, I don't know, but like, I've never seen it either. From what I recall, the only other character in the movie is, it's not a coconut, but it's a soccer ball named Wilson.
Volleyball. I think
the
it's
volleyball named Wilson.
Yeah, and it's like it is labeled as a romance. So I
is that how that ends?
Oh my God, Weebo, really?
Does he fuck the volleyball? These are the questions that need to be answered.
Well, like I said, I've never seen it. Chad, has anyone seen this? Does he?
Chat, help.
Odd. Yeah, I figured that if it's romance, it must be just him thinking about his life before the island, and it involves.
Let's ask Twitter.
The woman that is now lost to him.
Quick question. Does Tom Hanks fuck the volleyball in Castaway?
Up in the air. Ryan Bingham enjoys living out of a suitcase for his job, traveling around the country and firing people, but finds that a lifestyle is threatened by the presence of a potential love interest and a new hire presenting a new business model. George Clooney, well.
Oh, bobblehead himself?
Yeah, exactly. And Vera Farmiga. I know a lot of people dig her. She's just not my particular cup of tea.
I wonder if there's a Snyder cut where Tom Hanks fucks a volleyball. I'd really like to see. I'm hilarious. Castaway was more of a tragedy of separation and loss as the next 6 minutes. Yeah.
Les Miserables.
I've tried to watch that. I couldn't get through it.
The Hugh Jackman version? The Russell Crowe version? Yeah.
I couldn't. I just...
Why?
got bored.
Got bored? Okay. I mean, you like musicals, so I thought, really, you got bored.
I do, but I don't know. Maybe I was too young. Maybe I should go back and watch it with people. I don't know. Part of the reason why I liked watching musicals like Rock of Ages and Phantom of the Opera is because I already knew all of the songs and I could just sing along to them. And that's half the fun with a musical, is that you already know the music and you're just jamming along.
Huh. Three Colors Red. A model discovers a retired judge is keen on invading people's privacy.
How is that a romance, though? Okay. Makes sense. Speed run this probably the next 60 or so. Because there seems to be a running theme here of we have not seen many of these.
Singing in the Rain. I mean, it's a good, if you're into the choreography and the dancing, it's a classic from that era, but
romance?
It shouldn't be here. Okay. Amour.
There's literally just, I think, lover in French.
Yes, I would agree. Georges and Anne are an octogenarian couple. They are
know what that means.
They're in their 80s.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's what that means. They are cultivated, retired music teachers. Their daughter, also a musician, lives in Britain with her family. One day, Anne has a stroke, and the couple's bond of love is severely tested. Jesus, this is romantic?
Maybe.
No, it's just this is drama. Just drama. What's it doing here?
They're an octogenarian couple, Polly. Don't you understand? That on its own gives it this title. The Dreamers.
The Dreamers, from 2003, young Americans studying in Paris in 1968, strikes up a friendship with a French brother and sister set up against the backgrounds of the 68 Paris student riots.
He fucks both of the siblings.
Well, why The Dreamers is an interesting film and why I have a copy of it and why it's NC-17, for God's sake. If you are a fan of Ava Green, I highly recommend you watch this movie because she's naked through about 50% of it. It's okay against the background of the '68 Paris student riots. Yeah, that's barely in it. It's just three people love triangle, coming of age story, women discovering their sexuality, and yeah, it's a very European film. Like just sex, 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 and we'll make it seem deep. You know, and it's like really, it's actually just about a whole bunch of nudity on film, but it's awesome because it's Ava Green and she's just hot as all get out.
I just looked up who Ava Green was because I forgot who Ava Green was, and she's got a weird face.
By weird, you mean hot? I agree.
That's not what I was saying. But agree to disagree. Atonement. That's an interesting choice. Did you ever watch that or read that book?
No. Did you?
Yes. I watched it and I read it. And I read the James McAvoy, Keira Knightley version. And I gotta say, it's a very interesting choice because, yes, technically it counts as a... I would count it as a romance because a lot of what happens in the movie is contingent upon those two characters, the one that plays Keira Knightley and the one that Keira Knightley and James McAvoy's characters getting it on early on in the movie and the consequences of that action as a result. But a lot of the consequences are all a fictitious what could have happened had things gone differently ever so slightly. Like, well, you know what atonement is, right?
Uh-huh.
It's a wishful thinking movie from the perspective of the character that sets in motion much of the plot going forward. And those two characters are just essentially reacting to the events set in motion. It's actually a really good film, Polly. I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
Well, no, hey, listen, Keira Knightley's hot as hell and a damn good actress, and James McAvoy just fucking rocks. So,
yeah.
You know.
Seriously, go watch it. It is a tragedy and has a sad ending. Jesus Christ, you are not wrong. Yeah, Sister slanders a good man for rape and ruins everyone's lives. And the reality of the movie is not at all what the reality of the ending of the movie is not actually what transpires over the course of the movie. So it kind of has this, it was all a dream feel, but not that. Which is why I call it a wishful thinking movie, which is much of what makes it so tragic, is because you get a glimpse of what could have been for these two characters, but the reality of what happens to them after, I believe the sister's name, Bryony, after what Bryony sets in motion is heart-wrenching. It's a gut punch. It's a really good movie, though. And a really good book. Definitely 100%. I'll watch it with you, actually.
The Zed Hero says most of these are foreign films and Oscar bait. I'm feeling that. A lot of Oscar bait here.
Okay, Moulin Rouge is definitely romance.
Did you
100%.
Did you watch it? Did you like it? This 2001 version of Moulin Rouge?
Oh, yeah. And based off of what I saw in that movie, I actually went to Paris. Not because of the movie I went to Paris, but I went to Paris and specifically went to a sketchy district of Paris. A sketchy arrondissement is what they call it. A sketchy part of Paris where the Moulin Rouge is actually today, because it's a cabaret. It's actually where the can originated. But it's a fantastic. It's got Ewan McGregor in it and Nicole Kidman, and they're like it's.
Yeah, I was made to watch it. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. I liked it. I liked singing along to it. I thought Ewan McGregor, hot diggity. I didn't know that man could sing, but apparently he can. And, you know, as far as romance goes, it's a little bit fantastical, but it's still good. I liked it. It's a fun but sad movie.
Interesting. 3 Iron. A transient young man breaks into empty homes to partake of the vacationing residents' lives for a few days. That's interesting. Yeah, based on that one sentence description, that could possibly be, like the talented Mr. Ripley, assuming other people's lives, even though because his own life is so boring and sad. So he just that could be interesting. I don't know.
And I suppose the romantic aspect is he breaks into a house with an occupant already there, and
yeah, like how the romance comes into it. I'm actually legitimately curious. Conspiracy Occult Illuminati says it's a brilliant Korean film. Cool. I mean, highly rated. It's not too long. That might be the one we should check out.
Yeah.
That could be an interesting it's an interesting premise.
I'm writing the ones down that I'm interested in watching at a later date.
Cool.
So far, I have The Reader, Castaway, Atonement with Polly, and then 3 Iron.
Blue is the warmest color. Ooh, it's NC-17 and I see 2 ladies. Hell yeah. Okay, so this is Adele's life is changed when she meets Emma, a young woman with blue hair who will allow... Did you really need to... Okay. A young woman with blue hair who will allow her to discover desire and to assert herself as a woman and as an adult and as a lesbian. And in front of others, Adele grows, seeks herself, loses herself, and ultimately finds herself through love and loss. That is an awful description. I mean, this could be a great movie, but you this is especially that last one. In front of others, Adele grows, seeks herself, loses herself, and ultimately finds herself through love and loss. That's terrible writing.
That is really bad. That line single-handedly just maybe I could live without that. If the rest of the writing in that movie kind of like that, we're good.
Let's hope that Abedabel Kerchief didn't write this. let's hope that the film is much better than this. The English Patient.
Oh, another Ralph Fiennes movie.
At the close of World War II, a young nurse tends to a badly burned plane crash victim. His past is shown in flashbacks, revealing an involvement in a fateful love affair.
Ooh. I have heard things about The English Patient. Have you watched it, though?
I have heard of this movie repeatedly, but no, I don't know anything about it. But I've heard about it over and over again.
Yeah. Good things or bad things?
Just references, I couldn't say, actually, come to think of it.
Maybe worth checking out.
Yeah. Revolutionary Road. Let's face it, the only reason anyone went and watched this is because Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio were together again.
100%.
Yeah, that's why it happened. An ex-girlfriend, that was her line. I said, Revolutionary Road, what's that about? She goes, it was a terrible movie. It was on her DVD shelf. It was a terrible movie. I was like, Jesus, what was it? Because she said it so quick, right? And she goes, the only reason anyone watched is because the 2 actors that were in Titanic together were in it again, or together again, and everybody wanted to see that happen. And it's not Titanic Part 2. And it's
what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Hugo.
That is not a romantic movie in any capacity.
It's a fantasy film, isn't it?
It's a family fantasy film. That's not a romance. What? Get the fuck out.
I've never actually seen it, even though it's a Scorsese film, and I'm aware of it.
It's a good movie, but it's not a romantic fucking movie.
Being a massive Scorsese fan, I just haven't gotten around to watching it. I've even watched his stuff that was, he does more than crime cinema. And, yeah.
Yeah, Hugo is a kid's movie. It was based off of a children's novel. It's not a romance anything.
That's weird. It's not even listed as romance. I don't know I got here. 3 colors, blue. Oh, another lesbian film.
That's actually just one color. Is blue like the lesbian color?
This is clearly a Polish movie. All the C's and Z's kind of give it away.
Hey.
I'm just saying there tend to be lots of C's and Z's and Y's and Polish names. And Z's. I said Z's. A woman struggles to find her way to live with her life as a lesbian after the death of her husband and child when she becomes a lesbian. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to make it interesting. Moving on. Let's see. Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
It's a cross-dressing film. Dustin Hoffman. He cross-dresses as a woman. Michael Dorsey, an unsuccessful actor, disguises himself as a woman in order to get a role in a trashy hospital soap. He dresses up as a woman because he's unsuccessful as a male actor and becomes super successful as perceived to be a woman. Tootsie.
How's that romance, though?
Annie Hall, screw you, Woody Allen. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Screw you, Woody Allen. Before sunset. 9 years after Jesse and Celine first meet, they encounter each other again on the French leg of Jesse's book tour. Wow.
Riveting stuff.
Right? Moving on. Silver Linings Playbook.
I couldn't finish this movie.
Really?
I'm gonna be honest.
Did you walk out of the theater or turn off at home? What happened?
Home. I was watching with people.
Okay.
We just didn't finish it. I don't remember liking it, but yeah, I could see how this is gonna rank as a romance.
Oscar bait is what I heard about this film. Just pure Oscar bait.
It's hard to watch. Cause like, you know what kind of vibes it gives me? It kind of gives me oh god, what book was it that you recommended to me? I'm totally blanking on the name. The one that I read that I didn't end up liking because none of the characters
Rules of Attraction.
Yeah, it kind of gave me Rules of Attraction vibes in terms of both of the main characters being completely unlikable assholes.
Promiscuous, unlikable assholes?
Not kind of promiscuous.
See, that's so strange because I found striking similarities between you and Lauren from Rules of Attraction.
I don't know, I just...
Minus the promiscuousness, lying, and backstabbing.
Yeah, I guess I don't... There are certain characterizations that I just cannot get into, and Silver Linings Playbook characters were characters that I could not get into.
Yeah, and you know what? Fuck Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, there, I said it. I mean,
Robert De Niro's in this movie.
Promiscuousness? That's a word, Keeper Dam.
Yeah, actually, I would say promiscuity.
Promiscuity. Yeah. Whatever. Promiscuousness. I can find a word with more S's in it if you'd like.
Do it.
Actually, I already know. You know the word in the English language that has the most S's in it?
Hmm.
Uselessnesses.
That's not a word.
No, it is. If you have some uselessness, right, in a certain area, and I also have some uselessness in an area, you can state a grammatically correct sentence of, we should combine our uselessnesses and see if we can accomplish this goal.
Ew. That makes me uncomfortable.
Okay. Once, a modern day musical about a busker. All
right, I'll look up what busker.
And an immigrant and their eventful week in Dublin as they write, rehearse, and record songs that tell their love story.
Oh, a strolling singer, player, ballad seller, or the like. A person who entertains people for money in public places. Why did I just say...
A modern low-rent bard. Got it.
Street performer.
Street musicians, number one nowhere says. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, okay. That must be Irish slang. Angel A. Beautiful woman helps an inept scam artist get his game together.
That seems like it would be funny, actually.
Well, it's directed by Luc Besson.
You want to do like 6 more of these and then... Call it for the evening.
And we will. Yeah, I just looked up at the time. Yep, that sounds good. Big Fish. A frustrated son tries to determine the fact from fiction in his father's dying life.
This isn't. I wouldn't call this a romance though, because the focus isn't on the romance; it's on the life of Ewan McGregor's character.
Mm-hmm. And it's Tim Burton, which is really?
I thought it was a good movie. It wasn't overtly Tim Burton-y. It did have elements of Tim Burton, definitely. I will say.
Brando, when you say busket, are you referencing Suicide Kings? Because I watched that just last night and the whole busket thing came up. I'm just curious if that coincidence just happened. Anyway, yeah. So Big Fish, not a romance film?
No, it's not a romance film. It is a good film. Mm-hmm. I liked it. Not overtly Tim Burton-y in style, but definitely has those reminiscent elements to it. But it's not a romance movie. It's not.
Shape of Water.
Is that the one where she fucks a fish?
Fuck the fish, bigot.
Yes, it is that one.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's a romance one. I'll say it.
As a top secret researcher, at a top search, English.
You got this.
At a top secret research facility in the 1960s, a lonely janitor forms a unique relationship with an amphibious creature that is being held in captivity.
She fucks the fish.
She fucks the fish. Wow.
Yes, this one is a romance. Even though I'd rather it not be.
Last Tango in Paris. Ooh, NC-17 for sure. A young Parisian woman meets a middle-aged American businessman who demands their clandestine relationship be based only on sex. And Bernardo Bertolucci, the guy who created The Dreamers, did this again. You found another excuse to put porn on film and call it a movie? Well done. Maria Schreider claims years later that was rape. She said multiple scenes she didn't know what was going to happen. She knew that it was a sex scene. She didn't know that it was going to turn into actual intercourse, which it did in the course of them filming. There were so many people there, like on set and watching. She didn't feel like she could say no. She wasn't aware that was going to happen. In her mind, she classified that film as rape. Creepy, huh?
Yeah.
So he put butter up her ass. Big deal.
What?
Yeah, I say that ironically, like my tone in it, but yes, that happens.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not a film for you, Weebo. No, I mean, you can watch it if you want. I'm not trying to just, back you off of it. I'm just saying that I don't think that's a film you're going to like.
Okay.
If I were to take a guess. It was method acting. When
you get really into it.
Says, I love that. It was method acting. Yeah, let's go with that.
I don't approve.
Moonrise Kingdom. A pair of young lovers flee their New England town, which causes a local search party to fan out and find them. I never even heard of this at all, and it's got Bill Murray in it. You ever heard of this?
No. Nope. Never heard of it. I don't even remember hearing about it in like the advert sense. Like, oh, this is a coming blockbuster to you this summer.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say that I need to know of every film for it to be, qualified as quality or anything of the sort. But there's so many movies on this list that are just like, and they're fairly recent. Like they're all in like the 2010s or whatever. And it's like, what? I've never even heard of this thing. What the fuck? And they've all got reasonable scores, 7.8, 8.1, 7.7. Like, and it's like, okay. The Illusionist. Oh, Edward Norton and your weird film choices. In turn of the century Vienna, a magician uses his abilities to secure the love of a woman far beyond his social standing. What do you think? Oh, Jessica Biel. Paul Giamatti. Fuck, he rocks.
I think I did see this, but I don't remember. I vaguely remember this, but I don't remember a whole lot about the romance aspect of this.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really digging Edward Norton's get up here.
I think I remember it being somewhat decent of a movie.
See, I keep getting told that fashion is cyclical.
I want to go back to that too.
When is this coming back? I love this style of tie where you wear the collar up and then the tie goes around and is visible. Like I'd rock this look, and I'd rock it hard. Ooh, look at Paul Giamatti back there with a beard. But it's PG-13, so no naked Jessica Biel, which is really unfortunate.
Rough.
500 Days of Summer.
Never heard of it. Never seen it.
Romantic comedy about a woman who doesn't believe true love exists until she finds a young woman who turns her into a lesbian. Huh. Oh, lesbianism.
Zooey Deschanel with two. Would you pronounce it Zooey Deschanel?
I would. And I don't care if that's not how you're supposed to. I'd keep saying it to her. Hey, Zooey. It's Zoe. I understand, Zooey. Yeah.
Your parents
See how long
love
it
you
took
enough.
before she took a swing at you? Okay, and the final one, 3 colors white. Wait a minute. Now, hold on now. We had 3 colors blue, and love is blue, and blue's the warmest color. What is with this 3 colors white business at the end? This is
the heterosexual one.
Well, it's the Polish one, hence the white part. Okay, after his wife divorces him, a Polish immigrant plots to get even with her. Really? Really?
Really?
This is a romance film? It sounds like a revenge film.
It does sound like a revenge film. But, the Polish, they have really interesting opinions about things. Hi, hello.
That's odd. So we got all the way up to 61 in mocking this really poorly made list of romantic films. I'm glad you were keeping a list. That's cool. We should. There were a few on there that, I would definitely be interested in checking out.
Zooey is hot as fuck, says James Cullen. I mean, yeah, she's got these really intense blue eyes. She also looks just like a Katy Perry twin. Copy paste. Like, if you put a picture of Zooey Deschanel and Katy Perry up next to each other, you'd be hard pressed to find a difference. Like before Katy Perry got her hair dyed and cut it off. Clone. Thank you. That's the word that I was looking for. Conspiracy. Yes. So, we're at time. Polly.
We are out of time.
Would you like to shill for the audience your latest project coming up?
No.
You wouldn't like?
No, I just don't have a project coming up. You know what? I should just throw the whatchamacallit up there. The our Twilight commentary with me, you, and Farzusmi.
Yeah, just do that.
And people can listen in and find something enjoyable about Twilight, because watching Twilight on its own certainly isn't enjoyable.
Yeah, that is true.
We watched all 5 and commented on them, so you wouldn't have to watch it in pain alone, chat. We did it for you.
Yes, we did. I had fun, though.
So did I.
Me,
so did I.
And Polly, and Far, and all of our commentaries kind of on point. Kind of, very, extremely.
Yeah.
100%. It's a good time.
I'm trying to. There was what was I thinking of? I was trying to tell Far that it was time to watch those movies over again, and I can't remember why. There was special editions released of them or something like that, and she said, "You're gonna have to check back with me in a couple of years. I need a break." See, Far, who's read all of the books more than once and seen all the movies more than once, claims that she does not like Twilight, that she hates it, and it's all a giant facade. She's a big fan, and I don't judge her for it, so I don't understand why she's so defensive around the thing.
Well, the books are arguably better than the movies, and there are elements of the books that are attractive in the deeper lore parts. where it could be so much more
Excuse me.
expanded upon because that part of the book is more interesting. Like all of the history of all of the alternative characters that aren't Bella Swan.
Yeah.
So much more fascinating. Like I could watch an entire series just on the history of the Cullens alone because it sounds more interesting than the love story we're reading about. Unfortunately, guess what we don't get? It's infuriating. Like Rosalie's entire character origin itself, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, there's a number of I mean, I could watch a film like a trilogy film series on the Volturi alone, just focused on Arrow heavily with Michael Sheen.
And that laugh.
and him doing that laugh a lot. Fuck yeah. Come on, Michael Sheen just rocks and everything he's in. He's so much fun to watch.
Oh,
he's willing to go that extra mile.
He dialed up his character to 11.
Yeah,
you could tell he was having fun the whole
time.
And
Arrow is a really, really interesting character. And when I hear about the shit, what's his name? The patriarch of the Cullen family. The doctor, Carlisle's story, like, okay, in the movies, he's just sort of this, he's there to fill a spot and occupy a given dynamic within the thing, but he's not really fleshed out in any kind of way. You don't really care one way or another because you're not even given enough information to hate or hate him or like him.
Just when
his backstory is actually really interesting. Sexy Alice's backstory is bizarre and fascinating.
Oh, I mean, they did my man Jasper dirty by not like they gave his backstory in service of what was it, book 3's whole plot of there's a youngling vampire war approaching and we need to prep for it. And that's how we get introduced to Jasper's backstory. And it's so much more interesting because this man was a Confederate soldier before he was a vampire, and then he was a vampire underling for this woman who wanted more territory in colonial America, or like the not even colonial America, because this is like after the revolution. So like manifest destiny is happening in his afterlife time, and vampires are claiming up land in the south and west and trying to like get it over other vampires and like move in on turf and territory. It's like that the vampire wars of the early American West probably would have made for a much more interesting series. Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, James Colley says my ex-wife made me watch it. I should have divorced her for that act alone. Yeah, I mean, that's how I came to watch it. I was made to watch it by a girlfriend. I as I told Weebo, I made the deal with her. It's like, okay, fine, we'll watch this film, but you have to understand, I'm going to be talking through the whole thing. Cracking jokes, poking fun, asking who the hell's this guy? What's she doing?
It's more fun to watch with friends playing a drinking game and commentating over it.
Damn right.
Than to just watch it on its own, which is what we were doing with the three of us, which is why it was so much more fun. It was fun because of the company, not because of the actual content. But anyway, so you're going to post that at long last. Is that what you're saying?
Why not? Why not?
Okay. All right. Cool.
And then, of course, on AAA stream coming up on Monday, which is tomorrow, on Drunkle's channel. It'll be on at 5:30 p.m. Eastern and 5:30 a.m. on Christmas Island. And then on Wednesday, when the really good version of AAA happens, over on my channel at 5:30 p.m. Eastern and 5:30 a.m. on Christmas Island yet again. Come and join us. Wine, women, song, laughs, mirth, hilarity, games, stories, bands, all of it. Hello?
I don't have anything planned for this week, so I feel kind of...
That's okay. You're repitch your Thought Patrol. It was awesome. If people haven't seen it, they should go watch it. It was good.
Oh, yeah. So I came out with a Thought Patrol this week on Wednesday, talking about the Nico Lowell situation from like about a month ago. But I go in more depth about the situation than most other people who covered it did. Hang on one sec.
Okay. Hello, Chad. How you doing? I'm here and hanging out. It's just let's lip read.
Okay, I was
Wait.
told that it's time for bed, so I'm gonna make this super quick. I made a video. This is about Nickel. Went into super depth about it compared to all of the other videos that went into depth about it. And it was a Thought Patrol, so it followed along those lines. It was super good. I'm super proud of it. And yeah, I don't have anything planned for this week because I have another social obligation to go to that kind of cuts into my production time. But we do have an out of character stream scheduled tomorrow, I believe, for Side Quest, and then I don't know when that's starting back up again. I think it's either this week or next week. Not 100% sure. But I do have plans to do more things, hopefully in the coming weeks.
Nice.
Sooner than the last production came out.
Looking forward to it.
So yeah, that's that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this fine evening. We deeply appreciate having your company here with us while we converse back and forth about our opinions and such. Polly, it's always a delight and a pleasure.
Mm-hmm. With you as well.
Oh, thank you. Chad, thank you so much for your likes, your comments, your shares, scribbles, and your donations. Without you, this would just be a conversation between the two of us on Discord, of all places. And that is the way that is. So we'll be back here next week, same time, same place, same otter, same face. We'll be, a half an hour later than the normal time? So
yeah, we're going to do
7:30,
8:30
8:30. Okay, yeah, that works.
Okay.
Holly? Would you like to say goodbye to the audience?
Have a good night, audience. We will see you soon, I'm sure.
Night. Bye, boys and girls.
Have a good night.